Welcome to America, where freedom isn't the only thing that's free, so is everything else. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom Sullivan in for Neil Cavuto. And immigrants, take your pick. The government is promoting a gateway for new citizens to take advantage of government benefits. The website, promoted by the Department of Homeland Security, basically serving as a menu of handouts and giveaways that they can jump on. Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, you name it. Political analyst Michelle Fields says this is why the land of the free is becoming way too costly. She's joined by wealth manager Jonathan Honig and Democratic strategist Marjorie Clifton. So, Michelle, this is a advertisement for come get your benefits?
Exactly. I think what this is doing is just encouraging people to game the system. Look, when my family came here, when my mother came here from Honduras, she didn't come here to try to get welfare benefits. She came here to be self-sufficient, to achieve the American dream. And I feel like what this administration is doing is trying to create a people that's not self-sufficient, but rather a people that's dependent.
So, Jonathan,
yeah.
You know, I mean, what happened to the day when the immigrant said, I want to go to America to have a better life? Are they still doing that?
Well, no, Tom. The land of the free is now land of the freebies. And Michelle, I think, hits the nail on the head. I mean, we've turned the American dream really into the dependency dream. And I am pro-immigrant. I am vehemently anti-entitlement. And as Michelle pointed out, we've had generations and generations of successful immigrants, whether it be Andrew Carnegie to Alexander Hamilton, who came here and succeeded prior to the creation of this monstrous entitlement state. And in fact, we're advertising it, I think, is having a tremendously damaging impact on not only the economy of this country, but the culture overall.
So, Marjorie, what's your take on this? Because should the government be advertising all these bennies?
Well, let's be clear. Congress approved these benefit programs as well as the appropriate budgets to go with them. So to say, we're going to have these programs, but we're not going to let anybody know how to actually get access to them seems a little bit ludicrous. We might as well go onto the Medicare website and put everything in fine print so the elderly can't access it. I mean, it's the same kind of idea. Look, you look back to Andrew Carnegie times and earlier immigrant times, absolutely they advertised the education, the opportunities in America, and we are a country built on immigrants and on families that have come across. So absolutely we should make the benefits that were, by the way, bipartisan approved available to the people that they're intended for.
Yeah, I know.
But all those benefits are a modern invention. I mean, all those benefits came after. I mean, and to advertise them as the reason to come to America and a great benefit for coming to America, I think does a real disservice to what the real American dream is.
Michelle,
and look,
listen.
This is on the welcome page. What they're doing is transforming this country into a country that's dependent, when really what this country's about is coming here to achieve the American dream, not welfare benefits.
Well, everybody seems to be pro-immigrant. Everybody's saying, great, we're a land of immigrants, come on in. But the only problem with it is, and I'll go back to you, Marjorie, there are booklets written in various languages in other countries on how to basically game the system. There's something wrong with that.
I don't know that it's gaming the system. It's here's how to access the system. Again, a system that our bipartisan Congress put into place. And these are, you know, any time that you are moving to a new country, it doesn't matter if it's an American moving to another, there are things that you have to understand and be able to be part of any system. So it doesn't necessarily mean just benefits, but how do you pay your taxes, which is also part of the system. How do you get signed up for the appropriate visa, also on the same page. And so absolutely it would be, and by the way, how do you get health care and everything else?
Yeah.
And these are stepping stones, by the way.
As well as a section that actually advertises that one of the reasons many immigrants come to America is because of the free health care. I mean, this is indoctrination on the highest degree.
Listen. I mean, we did have a country where we used to require, I don't know if they still do it. Any of you know? Jonathan, I'll ask you, does anybody have to have a sponsor and so much money in the bank? Because it used to be where our grandparents had to have a lot of different assets or they'd turn them around and send them back home.
These are immigrants who... Sorry, there is actually a very...
Okay, well, let's go to Jonathan. Let's go to Jonathan. We'll get it mixed up.
I'll just say that, I mean, we should want immigrants to come. Of course, they're a vital resource and a tremendous benefit to this country. The entitlements are not. And the fact that they're coming hungry, ready for freedom, and we're at the door, literally the minute they step off proverbial Ellis Island, handing them this bevy of benefits and saying, sign right up. I think it's not only indoctrinating immigrants, but it's indoctrinating would-be voters, and you know which way they're going to vote.
Of course. But
and we should be encouraging people to be contributing members of society. We don't want people to be burdens on the system. And we're saying, welcome to our country. Here, be a burden on our system. Here's how to access all of the welfare benefits.
Well, I'll go to you, Marjorie. Then we used to have that rule. Do we still have that rule? I don't know. I'm asking the question.
There are actually a clear set of systems and requirements for anyone who comes over to become an immigrant or become a citizen. There's very clear stages, and a lot of what we're talking about in terms of immigration reform are setting up very clear lines and systems. Absolutely. This is about creating people who are self-sustaining but also contributing. And so these are people coming to work who do pay into the same system that they're receiving benefits from. And that's a key thing to understand. There's no reason someone would come from another country just to game a system. They come here to take jobs that Americans aren't willing to do in a lot of cases, and we actually need them to sustain our economy. That's really important.
I hope you're right.
I
hope you're right. But if you are right, hold on. If you are right, I spend every afternoon on the radio, and I'll tell you there are government ads, not only for immigrants, but just everybody saying, come, we've got all these great benefits. I never remember hearing commercials for government benefits prior to maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah, well, Tom, advertisements for welfare as well. I mean, advertisements for essentially growing the size and scope of government. And of course, we all want immigrants to come and contribute, but the entitlement state in which we're inculcating them as part of doesn't contribute to anything. All these programs that the left seems to love, they're all broke. They're all the ones that are sending us over the proverbial fiscal cliff, whether it's be Medicare, Medicaid, down the list.
But let's be clear, this is two separate conversations. So one is about should the benefits be available to people, and that is one interesting conversation to have. I'm sure we could agree there needs to be cuts in a lot of these programs. We need to make sure we can pay for these programs. But whether we should actually make them available to the people they were intended to, that's the important thing, and absolutely they should.
I don't have a problem making them available, but I'm not so sure we need to spend a lot of money in booklets and advertising and everything else. But hold on, because we'll see you guys at the end of the show, but thanks for tackling this one for us anyway. Well, coming up, instead of giving